In the last video you saw how we completed the roof of our stone room. This is phase 1 of the actual property, which is my mom's room. Then we'll be working on the area next to it, where we'll be building an outdoor kitchen barbecue area to enjoy during the warmer months. Phase 2 will be the living room kitchen area, an extra room over here for either guests or almost parents. And then phase 3, the living quarters. Phase 2 and 3 will start a little bit later, as we plan to hopefully slow down a bit after my mom's room and our tiny home are completed. This area where we currently work at will be our future self-contained granny annex, but now it has been such a useful workshop, so we are leaning more now towards making it into a fully functional workshop with flat ground and area for woodworking, sewing and planting. The property has evolved, so have our needs, so we need to be functional and changeable and flexible. This is the beauty of having your own home to develop for years to come, and one day become a sustainable, almost self-sufficient home. So back to the project, we have completed the roof and now we need to continue with the wall on the side, which is being cladded with stone. So it's been built like this because here's the ventilation, so that's done already. That's for the toilet. Then we got over here this pipe that's going over the piece of wood, so that needs to be taken apart and put behind. Sorry about the noise, almost making falafels. And then here is a window lintel, and that's going to be placed tomorrow. The process of cladding a wall with irregular stones isn't easy. You have to look for the right stones, make sure it fits flat on top, wet them to absorb mortar, then add on to the space, add the mortar to bind and repeat. Some people were asking how the cats are doing. Are they adapting well? Are they happy? Well, you be the judge. Later that day, we decided we had enough and gave us a treat. We have had a washing machine before in our lives, don't worry.
Not in Portugal.
Alrighty! How long? 2 years!
2 years, yeah. We have our bags of clothes here, and the neighbour's cat decided to have a wee in one of them.
This one.
And that was the breaking point. Well, let's go get a washing machine.
Here's another mundane thing to show you. So we'll be back to the interesting stuff now. Thank you.
Oh, cool, thank you. Look at this, it's got a little computer game or something.
Come on, stop it. Okay. It was time to add another lintel to the window, the final lintel. The wall is about 55 centimeters deep, and the window area is constructed with a set of 4 pre-made concrete lintels. Nice.
Nice, and with another one.
Here's your tea.
Oh.
this one when it's hot.
Oh, it looks really good.
Yeah. Clean these up a little bit more flat on the front. That one, that's better, isn't it?
Like we say in Spanish, que vida tan dura. They come here and be a spectator. Here's the front seats of the cinema.
I see you've got the cats on your side.
We needed to close off the top of the container and started to build the frame. This is to avoid animals and our cats to get stuck up there. We thought about making it into a place to store our things, but to be honest, very little will be able to be stored. In any case, it could potentially be open later to be used for storage. And then we used stone and groove to seal it off, and then it was time to be placed.
You can put the other end on the ground. I'll try and get up a bit further.
Yeah. I can't do anything here.
Can't you? Right, I'm going to try and pull it towards me.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. It's on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bring this end round a bit. Oh, and then that bit of wood there.
Yeah.
More.
Okay, and a bit more. Okay.
I can get it from this side, I think.
Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna head it towards you. Yeah.
Yeah. What, this top corner?
Yeah. Push. Yeah. Okay. Stop there. Yeah, that's bang on. Leave it there. Looking good.
This is Hugo, our neighbor, who has been one of the most welcoming people we have met here in Portugal. You may have seen him earlier on another video helping us last year with the olive harvest, which by the way gave us the most beautiful olive oil. Our neighborhood got together, harvested the olives and combined them all into an over 500 kilogram harvest so we could all have our very own olive oil. I was mentioning to him how we wanted to grow our own vegetables, and he said that it would be better if we rotivated our land. The land hasn't been cared for over 20 years, so it really needed to be turned around as it was so compacted. It also had loads of stones, plastic, old clothes, bottles and loads of glass, so it was all brought to the surface and then we could pull them up. This way, the land was once again fluffy and soft enough for the plants and the roots. It will probably need some nutrients from compost, so we will add this later. Well, that was very interesting. Our neighbor came here as a surprise. We were having lunch and then he appeared with his massive tractor and then he offered to rotivate the whole front of the garden, which we're going to convert into a vegetable patch. Everything is already planted, so it just needs to...
It's perfect timing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm really...
Wait until the cats see that.
Yeah. We're gonna make him a cake because we're very, very thankful for that. He's also going to get us some tomato plants. We're gonna go now and pick them up and then we'll show you later what they look like. He didn't mind being filmed, so that's very nice, because sometimes I find it really strange to film people, especially in public or like when we go to the markets, but Yeah, so you could see this happens very often, by the way, like people coming here, offering to help, being invited to the neighbor's house for churrasqueira, which is barbecue, and it's gonna give us some tomatoes. People share stuff. My other neighbors have giving us stuff, but we just never film it because it's just a bit strange to film other people. And also it's a little bit of like a precious thing just for us to enjoy. And it's a very dear thing for me to have that kind of encounter, so I want to give people my full attention, and I very, very much cherish those moments. So we're gonna go and pick up these tomato plants, and then I'll show you how they look later. Not only did they give us more than 30 tomato plants, his wife Carla actually came over to teach us how to plant them. Well, a lot happened today. I'm just like really happy because it's amazing how people are here. And I didn't film any of it because it was a moment that I wanted to cherish with Omar and my neighbors and really connect with each other without having a camera there to make people nervous or to make people uncomfortable. It was a lovely afternoon. They gave us some sausages. They also gave us some chanfana, which is a typical regional dish that they do here with goats. So we also have a massive, it's like this big of champana for 6 people. It's being fertilized already.
Hang on. They're doing their part. Let's just get this in camera.
We need some compost. Well done, Lena. So yeah, this is amazing. I'm just really happy. I'm gonna have a shower now because it was very dusty today. It's amazing. Like, people here are incredible. Se alguma pessoa portuguesa está vendo este vídeo, são pessoas muito legal, são pessoas incríveis, são pessoas que sabem que é uma comunidade de verdade e tem uma cultura incrivelmente maravilhosa. Então, muito obrigada como estrangeira por a bem-vinda que dá para as pessoas que vêm para cá, seu país. É muito obrigada, sou muito agradecida. The next day, it was time to take off the shuttering of the windowsill. It was not completely filmed because we were just fascinated and excited of our land being rotivated by Hugo. While we were watching the tractor work, Simon poured in the concrete mix, and the next day it was cured enough to take it off and continue to work on the stone cladding.
Marcia, you need like 2 tea bags even just to get
like
a tiny little bit of taste
it's more
to
like
it.
assam tea rather than breakfast
I don't know,
tea.
it's just, yeah, it's a nothing tea.
Very important. There you are.
Earl Grey tea, the best tea. Meanwhile, Simon was working on the stone cladding. Omar was starting to think about the outside finishes of the extension. We wanted to close the gaps between the roof and the tongue roof and thought about adding a top panel to the top of this wall. However, notches were needed to be cut so it would slide in and be tightly snug to the rafters. I think it will be cool for the jigsaw to be in there.
No, this is very thick.
Is it? Are you sure?
second attempt.
Second try. Is it better
Let's see. Well,
with the notching method or jigsaw?
I'm just going to tidy up this. Well, I think there's a clear winner there. What are you laughing about? I get it. I'm more than happy to try other
that's
ideas.
great.
I'm very flexible with my opinions.
Very happy you take it into account. Even though Omar cut the spacings for the rafters right, they needed to be slightly bigger. You don't want wood to be too tight, as an overly tight fit wouldn't allow the wood to expand and contract when the seasons change. So with the help of Simon, they identified where it needed to be cut slightly bigger on one side and then tried again. Meanwhile Omar was fixing the panels, Simon had already started the rendering of the walls inside the stone room. The walls in the room are in straight, so with the help of several layers of lime plaster, it will be fit to be as straight as possible. A lime render needs to be worked in layers, otherwise it comes to a point that it's so heavy on the wall that it falls off.
The trick is, when you get to low bits, you want to load the trowel up and get a good load on it. And when you get to high bits, you want to put less on.
Here's a very good example of why having a professional to do the lime plaster and not us was so important. The flicking movement is actually really difficult and it takes years to master. Lime plaster needs to be flicked or thrown from the trowel quite hard onto the wall so it sticks to each other, and each flick needs to cover as much as possible. As stone walls are uneven, sometimes thick layers are required, but they are done in stages. Once the layer is as thick as needed to be, it is smoothened out. Once Omar fits the cuts on the panel, it was time to check again if it worked and then the next job could be done. As you know, we absolutely love Shosugiban. We used it on our main post, the post holding this extension and the top panel for the rich tiles. So we are a bit obsessed with it and we're quite comfortable doing it. So it was pretty obvious we would also use this method on the trims. Shosugiban can be done in many different ways, depending on what you're doing with the wood. You can make a fire and wrap your panels around it, which makes quite an ashy, well-charred finish. You can lightly burn it and have a really beautiful texture on it for decoration. But for preservation purposes, it needs to be burned quite well. So the way we do it, and after seeing how well it has worked on our posts for over a year, we burn it with a blowtorch connected to a propane bottle. This way the fire is much more stronger. We then burn the wood quite well until it's black but not too charred. We then brush it with a wire brush, clean the dust away and then char it again. We do all of this for a second time and protect it with linseed oil. For the top panel, however, we actually added also some beeswax and turpentine mix made locally for extra protection.
Okay, so basically before we can really put the ceiling or the walls in the bathroom in the container extension, we need to get something that's going to like slot up under here and kind of like protect this from the elements. Now we've finished all of that and it's ready to go on. I'm very excited.
Right. Oh mate, it's not going to need that much plonking, is it? I'm there.
As far as that's going.
That's a beautiful thing you've done there.
Oh, thank you, man.
Look at that. What we could do with is put a clamp on here before you screw. Pull it
All
in.
right.
We also have to make another trim for this side of the extension, which had a weird angle, and after discussing different ideas on how to make the best shape possible, we finally got something that we were happy with.
We need more clamps.
We need more good quality clamps. Oh, the angle's wrong, Omar. The angle is completely wrong.
That's alright, isn't it?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah, totally wrong that angle.
Yeah, of course. You did it parallel to the cut on the top, and you have to do it parallel to the bottom of the barrette.
Yeah. Oh, but I did 90 there and 90 there.
And then it would have been 90 across. We did the cuts parallel to this line, but this is at an angle, right? So basically what you have to do is you have to make this cut here parallel to this line. So that will be a 90 degree angle over here. Angles are very funny to track how to do. But now we have a template.
Exactly.
We just made a template. That was totally the
Design purpose. This cut could have been a little bit longer.
If reincarnation, I don't believe in reincarnation, but if it's the true thing after, I want to come as a cat, okay? So, I want to be, look at that, that's the life, man. Look at that. Tony! I want to be you. Yeah. It works. It's lovely. Then it will show Sugiban as well. As you have seen, there is a lot going on here. We have the extension, which is a huge priority for us because it will change our lives. We have my mom's room, which is the first ever room in our main project, and then other little side projects that we work on. But everything leads to the other one. One of them is this wall, which has been a mammoth of a job for Simon, and we are so grateful he took the reins because there is no way we could have done it and achieved so much without him.
Final bit.
Yes.
So there's still going to be some lime kind of render that's going to come up and connect the tiles to the wall, so the weather won't catch the tiles and everything will be well hidden and from the weather and from the bugs, hopefully. So obviously all of those battens are going to get trimmed as well.
As you could see, this wall took a very long time to build. It was worked on during the mornings and the inside of the room during the afternoon. Now that the outside is finished, apart from the pointing and the render, we can focus on the inside. What's next is to work on the rendering inside the room, the extension, insulation and the plasterboard, but that's for another week. Thank you so much guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon.